a step inside, come in and go down, 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 down. Take another hit, relax and go round, 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 round.
Alright guys, this is DJ Marshbag for Midlands Metalheads Radio. I'm here with two members of Breed 77 and I've got Paul on the vocals. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing very, very, very well.
And I've got Joyzi, like New Joyzi,
Yourself?
on the drums. How you doing, Joyzi?
Good, very good, man. Very excited.
Excellent. You guys are on an 11-date UK headline tour in support of your new album.
Yeah.
And you played at the NQ Live, was it Manchester last night? How did
That's correct, yeah, that was first night of the tour.
How did it go, first night?
Pretty crazy. It was like, you expect to have teething problems and technical issues and stuff like on your first night, and we had a couple, but they were inconsequential. It was a great night. It was the first time that people had access. We've had to delay the release of our album like a number of occasions, but we picked up a couple of boxes of CDs before leaving London, and we were selling our new album and playing a whole bunch of new songs for the first time. So they went down like old favourites. So you couldn't ask for more. It was a great night.
Excellent, because of course in November you're on tour with Soil and Fozzy, weren't you?
Yep, we were actually in Manchester at the NQ Live.
Yeah.
At the end of November. So it's good to be able to hit the same city, in short succession.
Do you prefer being on your headline tours, or do you like being with the other bands?
I think it's a bit of everything, when you're playing as a support on someone else's bill, then you have more chances of reaching new audiences and meeting new people. But at the same time, on your headline tour, you're able to play longer, represent yourself more accurately as an artist, and be able to
play for your own crowd.
Exactly, yeah.
Amazing.
Play for your own fans, exactly.
Yeah.
So this time you brought along with you 3 bands. Left Unscarred, For the Imperium, and Seven Deadly. How are you getting along with them?
Well, they're all cool. Seven Deadly are old mates of ours. Left Unscarred, pronounced Left Hand Scared. They're sharing the bus with us, so we've known them for 2 days, and on all accounts, it seemed like a great bunch of kids, and we're having a blast with them, really. So. It's all really cool. For the Imperium from Finland. Met them last night. They play Do Not Miss Them. They play a really original kind of a blend of, I don't know what, man. It's
modern. It's very modern.
Yeah, it's very modern. It's crazy. It's very energetic.
Yeah.
So it's a good diverse kind of mix of a show, which is what we always try to find in a Breed 77 bill.
Obviously you mentioned your upcoming album, The Evil Inside, which has been put back, as you said, a couple of times due to labels and etc. It's been quite a while now, since 2006. What can we expect from this new album?
Whoa. The end of the world. Well, I think on this album, I think one of the main comments on it, like we've heard, is that overall it's a rockier affair rather than Insects was more, I think, more metally.
Yes.
If that is an adjective. It's still about the songs, which is what every Breed 77 album is about. But there's a darkness and a beauty to this album that I think is going to translate really well, and the energy is still there. It's Breed 77 through and through, but we're kind of exploring a couple of new things, and it's a very melodic album, and I don't know, I think it's just it's an album like an album used to be, with diverse sounds on it, with ballads and with heavy songs, and there's a big mix, and it's a fairly comprehensive kind of snapshot of where Breed 77 are at right now.
Excellent. So the kind of inspiration behind this is going into dark places in your soul, kind of thing.
It's about the darker side of the human condition. We're talking about everybody has thoughts about doing, about committing awful acts. People piss you off, and everyone's wished someone dead, even though it's it may not be that serious or whatever it may be, but it's in all of us. I think you know that dark side, and what we chose to write about on this record was like trying to dig, you know, like really like dig into that side, and find out that it's a genuine part of everybody, and everybody can relate to a dark subject matter, and it doesn't have to be gloomy, and it's present in all our lives. I mean, we're dealing with shit every day, from austerity cuts to recession to all sorts of socioeconomic problems, and yeah, there's a dark side to all of that, and it's, you know, it's a valid emotion, I think, in this day and age.
Is there, to you guys, is there a special track on the album you particularly favour, or is it just the album as a whole? You just see it as a whole album together?
Well, it's my first one with Breed, but to be perfectly honest, you know, in the beginning when I was listening to it and recording, you obviously thought, okay, I can't wait to record this one or that one. But now after listening to it, and now that we're playing it live, to be honest, I love every song. They're all different. They all mean something. And for me as a drummer, it's good because they're all different. Then again, and I love all of them. Bring On the Rain, definitely one of my favorites.
So how is it being the newest member? Do you feel like the outsider, or?
No, it's amazing.
They welcomed you with open arms.
Yeah, well, I've been with them for
open arms and closed fists.
Yeah. I've been with them for a bit over 2 years now, so it was good because like I toured. I think Oscar left when they were touring Insects, and I joined the band in no time. So I got to tour with them a lot before we went on studio, and so all this work now I feel like a member of the band. You know, we're all together in this. We get on really well. You know, and on stage as well. I can notice now with this tour and the new record, like. We're more solid than ever, you know, we're sounding good, we feel good playing together, we're having fun.
Like a
so it's awesome. Yeah.
Excellent. So you're 6 albums in now. Do you ever look back at them and think that was a special time in our career?
Every single one.
Yeah.
Every single one. Like I spent the majority of the beginning of my life dreaming about doing this, and now, you know, like a huge chunk of my life doing it. And you look back and everything's fucking great, you know. Don't take anything for granted. It's a gift to be able to have done this for the you know, the time that we have, and I just want to keep on doing it. It's every album is like, it's like laying you know, your emotions and your life bare at that time. An album is a representation of where the band and the band members are at that time. So every single album is like looking through a photo album. When you're looking, you know, you know, the birth of your kids, you know, here we got 6 kids, you know, they're all albums, but they're all our children, and it's great. I hope like I can have, you know, I can have the same kind of sentiment, like looking back over 20 albums in a few years' time, and still have, you know, that sense of pride.
Excellent. So you're still well into it. It's still after it's been a long time now you've been in the band, isn't it? So it's still the same kind of feeling you get.
Better. Yeah, like the minute it gets stale, or you know, that moment on stage or that moment in the studio, like doesn't mean anything to me. I'm out.
Excellent.
It's got to be everything and then some.
It's all very real. It's all very real in Breed. You know, everything, all like the songwriting, everything's very real. So it feels, you know, very big.
So if we go back in time, what is the reason why you're now on stage? What was it that made you think, I've got to be up there, I've got to be in a band, playing to crowds? Is there a particular band, a particular moment in your life?
Queen. Freddie Mercury, the greatest frontman ever. And growing up in the 80s, you had a chance to experience like Queen as the biggest band in the world. And it's like, there was no live music videos, but there was live magic. You know, there was, you know, like, there wasn't massive festivals in the UK, but they played Nebworth, like we talk like stupid crowds. They were everything, you know, at the beginning of the 80s, and as a kid, it was more accessible to have like this rock band that used to be a prog band or whatever, but like was very much pop at that time. So it's easier for a kid to get a hold of a Queen album than it is to get a Cannibal Corpse album or get a, I don't know, you know, like anything a bit more extreme. So Queen was like everywhere, and you saw that, and it's like that's what the stage performance is about, and that for me like it's always been like my personally my marking kind of that's my milestone.
Excellent. And you, Jersey, what made you want to sit behind those drums?
Well, I think initially Metallica was probably what got me into playing drums, but later on, like when I realized, well, you can actually, it's not just the others, you can actually do it, you can be there, there is a way to be a professional drummer, and to be in the band. I think must have been around 21, 22, and I met Iris, he's the bass player of Moonspell, and I started working with him, we started playing together, and he was the highest profile musician I knew, and he was the one, to be honest, that kind of inspired me, because he showed me the side of music, and showed me how it's possible. So I would say it was him probably, yeah.
Excellent. So, as I said before, you've been at this a while now. How's the industry changed during your 7 years?
How's it not changed, man? It's been crazy. Like, we got into music, people still bought albums, we still made singles, there were record shops everywhere, there were big chains of record shops, there were small independent record shops, there's all sorts. Bit by bit MP3 happened, Napster happened, and no one paid attention to Lars. Lars was right. Lars was so right. And from that, like, the industry turned around, and it's not the fact that the industry doesn't make money, but rather that the industry makes less money than it did, and it had got very comfortable where it was. And they were in a comfortable place where they were shafting artists, but like even shafting artists, the artists that were shafted were still getting paid. And the industry kind of switched now, like to the point where like it's make as much money as you can at the expense of everybody. It's more exploitative than it was. There's less, I think, less belief, less commitment from these companies, because these companies have become, just like they're just corporate entities controlled by shareholders and what have you there, and it's all about bottom lines, and is this investment worthwhile investment, is the risk assessment on this investment, and so on and so forth. So now it's turned into like a very DIY ethic in the way of making albums. Like albums, you have to kind of make the album and then sell it to a company. And various platforms have come up, like Pledge Music, like Kickstart, whereby like they're trying to eliminate the whole industry aspect out of it and get money straight from the fans into where it's needed at the band, so they can deliver an album back to the fans. So I think that's it's interesting. It's a double-edged sword. I've lived like the time when there was much more money around it. We're not talking about being able to have swimming pools and flash limos and stuff. It's about being able to exist at doing this, be able for it to be more feasible for a band to be on tour and to play to people, to carry on making music. And that's what the shame of it is, that it's got so hard now that like more bands fall by the wayside, and some good bands.
At the end of the day, you need to make a living somehow, and if you were to dedicate yourself entirely to something, you need to have a return. You need to be able to make a living. That's what makes it so hard. Nowadays, it's much harder than before.
Definitely is. You mentioned Pledge Music. Did you do a Pledge Music?
We did, yeah. We did Pledge Music last year. Part of the pledge was money going towards the recording of the album. So about half of the album was paid for by Pledge, and at the same time we used the whole Pledge campaign to release an acoustic EP, an 8-track acoustic EP, which we released last May. And it was really great, because we got to communicate with our fans very, very directly, and we got to see very much what we were worth to them, kind of thing, in a very honourable way. And they raised a whole bunch of cash for us. We were able to finish off our recording, and then through like loads of kind of industry wranglings and what have you, like for the last 8-9 months, we haven't been able to release the album when we wanted to, but it's out now. All the pledges, all the albums are en route to the pledges now as we speak, So it's great, you know, to close that chapter. But that was a very, very valid and very important chapter, because it's very humbling to see how people, you know, want to commit and want to invest and want to, you know, want to be a part of what you're doing.
And to help, yeah.
Yeah, to help, because it actually means something to them, and that's very endearing, and that's one of those things that, you know, it's the gasoline that keeps you going. It's what makes you think, yeah, that's why we do it, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In the end of the day, it's all about the fans, you know. It's, you know, do music for people, and it was really beautiful to see, you know, to have people coming to meet us like backstage with all those experiences. It was really nice.
Direct connection.
Yeah.
So did you give away some good prizes on that, like, you know, get different levels of pledge, kind of stuff?
All sorts. We gave away like whole kind of video packages of our most famous videos, like the guitar played in the river, limited edition film stills and stuff that the people haven't seen from the making of, signed copies of all of first editions of all those singles and stuff like that, and all in a really beautifully presented package. We did the same with the Wake Up video. What else? What else did we do? We gave away our old backdrop that we toured the world with. All manner of stuff, you know, like now I forget, but like, you know, we just raked our brain trying to give something that was of worth, you know, like I ripped out pages from my lyric book, framed songs and stuff, and people could request songs that meant something to them, and they could have the original kind of lyric page in a frame. So, you know, like little details for us that could mean a lot to people, and you know, for us it was like, you know, to make it worthwhile to give it this.
So this is a great thing, because the bands get to give away these things that people wouldn't normally be able to get hold of.
Exactly. And you don't want it to be appearing in some auction, like somewhere down the line, someone else getting it with you. It's a nice way to give back. It had to mean something.
Excellent. Okay, you guys have been a staple diet at Download Festival over the years. You've played 5 out of 10 of them.
Yep.
I saw you back in 2004 open the main stage, was it?
Yep.
On, I think it was a Saturday.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever saw you guys. I later went to see you at Manchester. I think later that year at the university.
Yeah, one of the academies down there. Yeah.
Yeah, which was a brilliant gig. Travelled up to Manchester for that. And any plans for any summer festivals in the UK? I know there's not many. But
well, we're trying to get in the running for all of them, you know. Right now, what's happened is that until our album is out, you know, and out in all the shops, then, you know, we'll be a going concern, and that I think that will push us up in a more favorable position for the bidding on these festivals. So yeah, we're really excited. We you know, we're up for playing anywhere. We've got a couple of things in the pipeline, but as of yet, nothing confirmed. But you never know, you know, like we always tend to end up in certain places, as you say. So we'll see what the summer brings.
Because I was reading some of the forums earlier in preparation for this, and people were saying how many downloads you played, and they were hoping to see you back again this year.
I know. Apparently, well, from what we heard, Andy Copping doesn't want to have any bands that played last year.
Oh dear.
But we'll see how that kind of changes through the following months.
But you only did the acoustic stage this year.
Exactly.
So
didn't really count.
It wasn't real Breed 7/7.
Now we were a member down as well, because one of our members had the back problem. So yeah, so like it wasn't really Breed 7/7.
No, they need a full version.
Yeah, you hearing that out there?
Definitely get Breed 7/7 back. Okay then, what can we expect from Breed 7/7 next? What is coming in the next few years?
Bigger and badder. This year is going to be pretty huge for us. We've got a really great feeling. We've got an international release. We're going to be going over stateside. We're going to be playing some places we haven't played before, some places we haven't played in a long time. So we're going to, you know, like we're just going to try and expand the operation, try and get to play as many people as we can, and get as many people to hear our new album, which we're sure it's gonna turn a lot of people our way. We can't wait for everyone to hear it. It's a stonking album. 2013 is the year of Breed 7/7.
I do hope so. As I say, I was a fan back in 2004, and I have been ever since, and I'm looking forward to it. So I was listening to the Insects earlier. As you said, it is quite a heavier album, but yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing this new one, which and hopefully seeing you at one of the summer festivals and seeing you again.
Definitely.
Definitely. As I said, we're at, well, I don't think I have said, we're at Birmingham Institute tonight, and so you're looking forward to playing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're playing the room upstairs that is designed for Mayhem. It's a stage, wall-to-wall stage, wall-to-wall crowd. It's looking like being a sellout. We can't wait to go on. You know, it's a great package. You got loads of great bands playing tonight, and we're topping off the bill. And we're here. You know, we're here to destroy. We came here to take no prisoners.
Excellent, guys. Thank you, Paul and Joyzi.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with your set tonight. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Peace.
Remember you.